Today in this video, we are going to create a very interesting game. While creating game, we will also learn a couple of new coding concepts. So please be with me till the end because in this video, we are going to create a game and we are also going to learn new coding concepts. So let's get started. Let me show you what we will be achieving at the end of this video. Okay, so where is it? What we will be creating at the end of this video. It says collect as many items you can in half a minute. There we have also given an option to select what would you like to collect. Maybe somebody like cupcake, somebody like eggs, and somebody likes to eat healthy apples. So let me select cupcakes. Any cupcakes I can, the cupcakes are pouring all over from here and there. Oh, let's collect as many as possible. Oh, wow. And at the end, there is a timer, which is actually checking. You can set the timer according to as you want to set it. Currently, I have set it to only just 20 seconds. Okay. So it says, good job. Your score is just 15. It displays the score. Let me play it again and show it to you again. Okay. So this time it's egg. It's collecting eggs. And this player is a little lazy. It is not collecting so many eggs. Let's see what will be the message after 20 seconds. Well done, you can do better. Your score is 5. So you can see according to the number of items collected, the message is displayed differently. So this is also another thing that we will be adding to this game. Okay, based upon the score, there will be a different message every time. So let's get started. Yeah, so the very first step is, of course, log into your code.org account, create a Sprite Lab project, rename it. Maybe you may want to rename it as collect the items. In a minute. Okay, save it. It is very important that you save each and every project. Okay. Okay, what next? Let me set a background. You can pick a background whichever you like. So I will be, let me pick this one. Okay. I'm selecting a background. Then after selecting a background, we need to show a message. So I will say show title screen. My title says collect the items in 20 seconds. So currently we will just restrict it to 20 seconds. Or maybe for the sake of this testing, etc., 10 seconds would be better. Next, what do we want? We want to have the options. So what do we do to have the options available to us? For this, we again go to world. We will use this prompt. Prompt user for variable with choices. What does it mean? It means the program is going to prompt the user for something. The value will be stored in the variable and you will be able to pick out of these 3 options. Okay. So I am going to write the prompting the user, pick your food for variable. Let me rename this variable as selected, as the item selected. Okay, with choices, we can have the choices. So we want to have the choices as our sprites only. So what I will do, go to sprites, take the choices from here. Okay, so the choices could actually be a carrot is actually good to have. We can have carrot. What could be the another 2 choices? Another 2 choices could be this, maybe this watermelon, and another could be, and let me pick apple only. You can actually explore it more and see what items you want. Okay, fine. So this is how we display the option. What next? If you go to events, you will see this event when a particular prompt is answered. Okay, we will use this. When item selected is answered, what we will do? Okay, first let let us change the background so that, it looks like a place where we are collecting something. So let me pick something that looks like a garden from where all these food items are pouring. Yes, this looks good. Okay, so select the background. Now pick your item. Now you have already picked an item. So according to the item which is selected, we would like to only display that particular item. So if you see there is a decision making, which item is selected, accordingly only we will be creating a sprite for that particular item. So what I will do, I will go to logic and I will pick this if block. How does this if block works? This in this if block, if you click on this star, okay, you will see this pane, left and right. Into the left and right, if you want to convert this if block into if else block, you can add a condition like this. Okay, so what it will do, it will actually add a else statement here. Okay, else if statement. And if you want to add a else, what you will do, you will have to pick this block and add it here, this condition. What is the difference between else if and else? Else comes with no condition, while else if contains a condition. And whatever is written inside if or else if will only and only be executed when that particular condition is true. What is the condition? Okay, and how does computer determines that if it is true or false? We will see it later. Currently, you can just understand if okay, so now say for example, if the selected item, if we are going to say if this selected items, we go to behavior, we go to variables, the value of selected items is stored in this variable, item selected. Okay, so what we are going to do, we are going to say if item selected is equal to caret. Okay, then what do we want? We want to create a sprite of a carrot. So go to sprites and now because we want, a couple of carrots dropping from the sky. So we will not create only one carrot. We will create maybe 3, or you may want to create more also. Let me create 3 sprite. Okay, let me resize it also because, it may be a little big in size. So let me resize this carrot to 45. We will see if this 45 looks good or not. Similarly, we will see else if item selected is equals to watermelon, what we would do, we will create 3 sprites of watermelon. And let me resize it also. Okay, here I do not want this else block, okay, because user will be selecting at least one value. So I don't want this else block. Rather, I want another else if. So I will be changing it. I don't want this. I want this else if. So I will be using this else if here. Okay. If item select is equals to an apple, then what we will do, we will create 3 new sprites of apple and we will also resize them. Okay. So let's test this part, and then we will move on. Let me select an item. Okay, let me select watermelon. Okay, I got 3 watermelons. Yeah, there is a problem. We need to hide the title screen. We will hide it. But before that, let me test all the 3, if it is working correctly or not. Yes. And apple. Yes. So they are working fine. Only problem is I need to hide the title screen. So let me hide the title screen. So that is why it is very important that you keep testing your code in chunks and frequently in small intervals. Okay. Now, what do I want? I would like to give these food items some behavior. What do we want? We want them to look like as if they are falling from the sky. So what we will do, we will set a behavior. When this sprite begins, which is sprite, this is the first sprite. What do we want? We want to set the behavior moving south and looping, because we want it to be looking like as if it is falling from the sky and then going back again. So I will use this moving south and looping. I will use this behavior for all the 3 items selected. Let me again test it. Yep. Okay. Yeah. But did you notice one thing? These 3 items are, these 3 sprites are being created at random location, good enough. They are falling from the sky, very good, but they are always falling from the same position, same top position, right? So it will become very easy for the player to know now from which position next item is going to fall, and it will be easy to collect it. We don't want it to be so easy. So what we will do, what do I want? I want this apple, when it is falling from the sky, every time it should actually fall from a different place. So what we will do for this, understand very clearly what we will do for this. We already have this behavior moving south and looping. We will make a small tweak into this behavior so that when my apple is falling from the sky, every time it will fall from a different X position. Okay. So for doing this, what we will do, we will click on edit. And if you see this code, what does it says? Moving south and looping. So first thing, we will have to rename it. I will rename it moving south and looping RJ, so that, I don't get confused which one I should use. I know I need to use moving south and looping RJ because I have made a little changes in this particular behavior. So move this sprite. This sprite is speed pixels south. Good. If this sprite Y position is less than -50, it means if it is, going down here, going down, then you change the Y position to 450 so that it looks like again it is coming from the sky. But the X position remains same. So what we will have to do, Control C, Control V, this one, put it here, change, we will have to change the X position. What? X position has to be a random number. It should, because we want that this item should be falling from any place from this area, right? X could be anything between 0 to 400. So instead of giving a fixed number to the X position, we will use random number. How we can use random number? This is the command we need to use. Set this sprite X position to a random number between, say, for example, 10 to 390. Okay, close it and let's see how does it works now. I will click on run again. Okay, collecting the carrots. Now you are seeing the carrots are falling from the different locations every time. Okay, I will reset. I will click on the watermelon, and watermelon are falling from the different positions from the top, making it even more difficult for the players to collect it. Let's test it for the apple as well. Yes. Okay. So that's pretty cool. What next? Next, we will need something in which these food items could be collected. So we will create another sprite in which we can actually collect these items. So I will make something like basket that will be coming now outside the if blue block. So I will go to costumes and I will try to see if there is something that looks like a basket. Yes, here there is this tool. We will use this tool. This looks pretty good. I think I should crop it. There is a lot of empty space outside. Go to code and I will create this basket here. Which position? Let me put it here. Okay, let me see. Yes, looks good. Okay, let's resize. It is better if this basket is a little bigger in size. So I will resize it to maybe 125, only little bigger, not a lot bigger. Okay, so this is resized to 125. Now what next do I want? Next, I want as soon as the food item is touching the basket, okay, my score should get added. My score should get added. I should get a point. A point should get added. So you remember, whenever we want to save something, what do we use? We use variables. So what I will do now, I will go to variables and I will take a variable here. Set I. It is always recommended to use a nice name, points. Okay, so we are creating a variable name points and we are setting its value to 0 because initially there is no point. So we are saying make new sprite at this location, set size and set points to 0. What next? Next, we will have to write the events when these food items are touching the basket. So we will go to events and we will pick this event when food basket is touching the carrot, when it is touching apple, and when it is touching the watermelon. Okay, fine. So what do we do? When the basket is touching the carrot, my points will be increased by 1. So I will say change points by 1. Similarly for other two also. Now remember, whenever one item is selected at a given point of time, there will be only one item on our screen. Okay, so here we need not to worry about that, what is selected, what is the selected item and all. At this moment, there will be only one item. So we can safely say change points by 1. What next do we want? We want to have a timer which keeps a note how many seconds are passed. Because, this is a time bound game, 10 seconds, 20 seconds. You can time bound it according to as you wish, according to your wish. So we will again go to events and we will pick this event at these many seconds. Okay. So I will say here at 10 seconds, you may want to keep it 30 seconds also, but 10 seconds will be better here for the video recording purpose. So I am keeping it only 10 seconds. So at 10 seconds, what we will do first thing, we will remove all the sprites. So we will pick this remove and we will choose this remove all sprites option. Remove all sprites. Okay, remove all the sprites and we will also be showing the points somewhere. So we will go to world and we will use this again, show title screen we can use. Okay, show title screen and we say we want to display it like this, right? Your score is so and so. So we will have to concatenate a string and a variable, something like this, right? Your score is, say, for example, 5, 6, which we don't know. So what we will do, we will pick from text a connector in which I can actually concatenate this variable as well. Our variable is points. Game over. Your score is, what is the score? That is something that we will be picking only from this variable points. Okay, so let's run this much and see how does it works. Oops. What is happening? Did you notice? We have implemented everything, but my basket is not movable. My basket is not movable at all. So what do we do? Behavior, creating our own behavior. So we will go to behaviors and we will create our own behavior. And I will give it a name, move left and right using the keys. Okay. It is always better to give the description. Using the left and right keys. So what do we want to do? First thing, we want to see which key is pressed. So we will go to logic. We will again take this if, okay, and we will say if my right key is pressed or left key is pressed. How do we do that? So we will actually take this one. Okay. If which key is pressed? If my right key is pressed, then I want this sprite to move towards right direction. So if right is pressed, go to sprites and I will choose this. Move, not this bunny, right? It could be any sprite, and because it is a behavior, it has to be generic. So on whatever the sprite it has been applied, on that sprite. And here also we don't want to say 10 pixels, not because we are making it generic, as much as generic as possible. So I will remove this 10 from here and I will actually take this one, this command. This command is really useful. So what we will say, move this sprite, how many pixels? As whatever is the speed of this particular sprite. So this command means move this sprite with the speed of this sprite, these many pixels north. I want another else if as well, right? So I will say else if left key is pressed. If left is pressed, then move this sprite. This should be east. I'm so sorry. Move this sprite with the speed of this sprite many pixels west. Okay. So what we will do now? So now we have our behavior ready. We will attach now this behavior to the basket. Where we will attach this behavior to the basket? Of course, at the place where we have created it. So what we will do, we will again go to behaviors and we will set this. Okay, what should be the behavior? The one which we just now created. Move left and right using the keys. Okay, let me reset and see if it is working or not. Yes. Yes, it is working pretty well. But do you see one problem? Do you see one problem here? What is happening? My selected item is actually going into the background. You know, it doesn't looks like as if this basket is collecting the carrots. It doesn't give that visual effect. So to give this visual effect, what we will do? I think first thing which we should do is we should actually have this basket created before the items. Why? Because if the basket is created before the items, then it will give a look as if um, items are actually in front of the basket, something like this. What is happening currently? Currently, the food item is behind because they were created first. So now let me put this entire block at the top of this piece of event. Here. So first thing, we will be creating this basket. Now let me run it and show it to you. What is the difference? Now do you see the watermelon is actually moving over it? Okay. So that sounds good. And again, I would like when my food items are actually touching the basket, there should be a feeling as if they are getting disappeared. So let's do that as well. If we will say, remove carrot, what will happen? It removed all the 3 carrots and the game is actually sort of over. So what we will have to do, we do not want to remove all the carrots when only the basket is touching a single carrot. So we will remove this, we will click on this plus icon and we will say remove the object. Our object, so means which object has been touched, only that object needs to be removed. Same thing we will do for other 2 events as well. When my basket is touching the apple or when my basket is touching the watermelon. Okay, so let's see how does it behaves now. Yeah, only one got removed, but now probably all the 3 watermelon has been collected and there is no other object to be collected. So what we will have to do, we will have to again create some objects, right? So what I will do, I will again say remove this and create another one. Remove this and create another one, so that the game keeps on. And where do we want to create it? We want to create it at a random location. But what should be the random location? We want X location to be random and Y location to be again, 450, so that it gives us a feeling as if it is dropping from the sky. So we will say Y location 450 and X location a random number. Random number from 10 to 390. Okay. So whenever one sprite has been removed, it will create another sprite. We will do the same thing for other 2 as well. Don't forget to change the sprite here when we are doing a copy paste. Oops. Okay, let me run it and see how does it works now. Yeah. Yes. So this is how it is working. But now, because we have created new sprites, we will also have to resize them as we had resized when they were created initially. So we will resize them. Okay, we will resize them and we will also attach behaviors to them so that they are also giving a feeling of looping. So we will use the same behavior. So let me see it for this watermelon. Yeah, this looks perfect now. Yeah, game over, your score is 9. Now what next? We want this message to be dynamic according to the score. So we will again take from the logic, we will take this, okay, and we will probably categorize it into 3 categories. If the score is less than 10, if the score is between 10 and 20, and if the score is greater than 20. So let me take it like this, okay? And we will say if the points, go to variables, if the points are less than 10. Then we want to display the message as game over. You can do better. Your score is this, okay? Similarly, we want if the score is between 10 to 20, okay? If the score is between 10 to 20, how do we do this? We will again go to logic and we will pick this one this time, okay? If the score is greater than and equal to 10 and if it is less than 20, it is less than 20. We will again display the score, but with a different message this time. We will say, well done. Okay. Next, if the score is greater than 200, sorry, my pardon, if the score is greater than 20 or equal to, greater than or equals to 20. Excellent. I would like to give a message, excellent. And this is the score. So let's run it and see how does it works. Yeah, I'm selecting watermelon because this we have just coded only for watermelon as of now. Wow. Score is 6, game over, you can do better. Let me reset and try to, play better so that I get a better message. Seven. Okay. So this is how you can actually create this game. And let me know, how do you like it? How do you enjoy it? Send me your comments.